watching The 7 from WATE 6 on your side.
Good evening, I'm Bo Williams, and welcome to The 7. Let's get a look at the big 7 stories right now. And topping the list, no school for Knox County the rest of the week because of staffing issues related to illness. In fact, Superintendent Bob Thomas says school leaders will spend the next couple of days looking into the possibility of applying for a waiver so some schools can make the switch to virtual learning in the coming weeks. Now, this comes as the school system grapples with illness. 684 staff absences recorded today alone. Now, the decision on which schools make the switch to virtual learning would be made on a school-by-school basis. School systems that want to make the switch to virtual learning have to receive a waiver from the Tennessee Department of Education. At this point, no waiver has been sent to the state. Of course, we're going to let you know what school leaders decide. And Knox County Schools, not the only school system closing for the rest of the week. No school for Anderson County tomorrow and Friday as well. Some more school closings to pass along. Hamblin, Jefferson, Roane, Sevier County schools will be closed through Friday. Our full list of school closings right now scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Of course, you can always find the latest updated list at WATE.com. But the question is, what goes into a school closure? We spoke to several education leaders about the decision-making process. It starts with a large meeting with supervisors of different curriculum levels and those in charge of transportation. Then school leaders have to figure out, will there be enough staff to actually teach all the students? Well, after that, it's just a matter of calculating the numbers.
That is a little bit too much district-wide for us to kind of fill in those gaps or combine classes. So we were looking at really, if the students were to come to school, a lot of them wouldn't be getting instruction because they would be in either a classroom that had been combined or a classroom with a substitute teacher for that day.
Teachers call out and the school wants to move to virtual. The State Department of Education must approve that decision. Again, both Anderson and Knox County schools looking into that virtual option for specific schools or grade levels. School leaders say deciding to close or go virtual for illness is different than inclement weather. They can't just drive to check the status. So they ask parents to have a plan in place. Well, our next Big 7 story for you also has an effect on school closings. What can we expect as far as the weather? Let's check in right now with Ken Weathers. Hey, Ken.
Hey, Bo, relatively quiet out there right now. Still some damp pavement. This is a live look at Market Square, downtown Knoxville. That's from some of the light rain and drizzle we had earlier across the region today. People said, man, why was it so cold? You said it was going to be in the 50s today. Warm front got stuck right over the area like it is now. That's why it's 40 in Maryville, but 51 in Loudon, 55 Madisonville, and 57 in Cleveland. Still cool to the north. Now, this front's not going to move a whole lot more over the next couple of hours because the cold front itself will actually catch up to it. But rain chances certainly increasing as we go over the next several hours, and rain will be likely. It's behind this system. Later tonight, we'll see it end as a wintry mix for many areas, but I want to point out the amounts of that wintry mix are going to be very light. Snow and freezing rain or ice as well, but it doesn't take much, as you know, to cause some travel issues. Bo, I'll tell you where the more likely areas to see those travel issues will be coming up in just a minute.
All right, we'll check back with you then, Ken. Thank you very much. Next on our list, spiking COVID-19 numbers right here in Knox County. New figures from the county health department show the number of active COVID-19 cases in our community nearly doubled to more than 12,000. And this number does not take at-home tests into account unless they are reported to the health department. These numbers only cover the week ending January 15th. 13 new COVID deaths also reported. And by the health department's count now, a total of 1,091 Knox County residents have now died from the virus. As of last week, 471 people were being treated for COVID in Knox County area hospitals. Well, with these numbers rising, we spoke with the Knox County Health Department. They're seeing the most community transmission since the start of the pandemic.
I wish we had an indicator of what we could expect next week. Unfortunately, with the transmissibility of this variant and some, and some difficulties with access to testing sort of changing every day, we're just not really sure what's going to come in.
But there is some good news. The number of COVID ICU patients is not changing all that much, even as more people wind up in the hospital. Also, the state health commissioner says numbers have plateaued in other large Tennessee cities. Well, home testing brings us to our next on the Big 7, our next big topic here on the 7. Americans can now get free rapid COVID tests delivered to their homes. This is courtesy of a new government website. It will likely take at least, though, a week to get it in the mail, but some are in need of a test right now. So we spoke to some local pharmacies to get a good look at the high demand that they are seeing and how they're handling it. Matter of fact, Blunt Discount Pharmacy had no at-home COVID tests left in stock when we visited earlier today. They had 50 yesterday, literally sold out in hours. Blue Drugs, well, had the same issue.
The availability of the tests since the pandemic has started has increased, but now that more people are needing to test, then now the supply isn't able to keep up with the demand as much, especially right now with this wave that we're facing.
Both pharmacies were expecting another shipment, but did not expect them to last longer than the end of the day. So pharmacies are cautioning all of us, if you don't need a test right this minute, don't rush out and buy one. Let the people who need them right now go out and buy one. There are also drive-through COVID testing locations in Knox County, and we're going to have a full list of that for you on our website at WATE.com. Next on our Big 7 list, Park West and Covenant Health are both facing a lawsuit after a deaf patient claims he could have avoided having his leg partially amputated if staff provided him with an interpreter during several hospital visits back in 2017. Now, we're learning about this from federal court documents. The case starts with the man suffering a fall and then going to the Park West Hospital with pain and numbness. Well, the lawsuit claims he was denied a sign language interpreter and sent home with ibuprofen after an x-ray. Days later, well, he went to the emergency room, then to Park West, but claims he never got an in-person interpreter and wound up going home sedated with a blue foot. Eventually, he went to UT Medical Center and was given an interpreter. The lawsuit claims doctors performed the partial amputation, and staff said that they would have been able to save his foot if he had come to them earlier. So here's where everything stands right now. The case was filed in East Tennessee Federal Court and then went to the 6th Circuit Court of Appeals. The court has now ruled the lawsuit can proceed. We have reached out to Covenant for a statement, and they told us they do not comment on ongoing litigation. Next to the Big 7, the final chapter in the murder of Tessa Majors, written today, as the teen who pleaded guilty to fatally stabbing the 18-year-old was sentenced to 14 years to life in prison. Rashaun Weaver was 14 at the time of the killing in 2019. He says he wielded the knife in a trio of teens that each pleaded guilty to their role in the murder, and he admits to being the one who delivered the fatal blow. He was sentenced to 14 years to life in prison. Weaver apologized to the family for his selfish and immature act and said that he would give anything to go back in time so it never happened. Major's parents declined to speak after sentencing, walking out hand in hand. And in our last Big 7 story for you, a state lawmaker is proposing a new law that would reimburse people who shoot and kill someone if it's proven they acted in self-defense. The legislation is dubbed Kyle's Law, named after Kyle Rittenhouse, the Wisconsin teen who shot and killed 2 people during a protest in Kenosha. He was then acquitted of murder charges based on self-defense. Well, State Representative Bruce Griffey is sponsoring the bill. If passed, Kyle's Law would require the state to reimburse legal fees and lost wages if the person is acquitted.
I think it's a reasonable response to make sure citizens are protected from malicious prosecutions or being prosecuted when there's not really enough evidence in the case to pursue a criminal charge against him. And then they have to go through, hire a lawyer, hire experts, lose wages, cost to them. That's not a fair system.
This individual wants to mischaracterize the exploits and murderous conduct of this out-of-state individual to try to score political points is just, it's offensive. I mean, it really should never see the light of day.
Kyle's Law is set to be discussed by the Criminal Justice Subcommittee in the coming weeks.